I was going to ask, I don't want to be like overly hyperbolic, but like this could definitely qualify as the biggest trade in NFL history. I know like Herschel Walker meant different things back then and just the significance
Ricky
of that.
Williams trade was crazy. I think the Ricky Williams trade was the entire draft class for Ricky Williams. Is that what it was?
Right. I mean, maybe if we remove draft day decisions like Eli.
No, this is still huge, though. This is still a huge trade.
I like your approach on the hyperbolic thing, Devo, because I don't want to like just like flatly just outright agree with you, because I also am afraid of being hyperbolic, because I am a
You are not afraid of that.
I am a genuinely hyperbolic person, so I try to stay away from it in situations whenever I can.
And when someone as measured as Debo offers that up, you have to consider it. Yes. I think it's fair.
I think that it's.
We've never seen a quarterback at this, like obviously going back to breaches that.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. We're getting that, right?
A Hall of Fame quarterback that won a team for a Super Bowl. It happened 6 times. And, Brett Favre at that point was not the guy that they were trading for. Like Russ is much better at this point in his career than Brett Favre was in year 14 or 15.
Breach, what do you got? Anything close to this?
Joe Montana would be my.
But he was also the downside of his career too.
That's what. Yeah, I think that was year 14 for him.
He was coming off a 14-1 season in 1990, and then he got injured and missed the whole 91 season.
I mean, you could throw out like Randy Moss to the Patriots, but that was when Randy Moss was kind of suffering in Oakland.
What about Matt Castle to the Chiefs? Where's that fit in?
What about Eli for Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, that's
right. The draft day stuff is tricky.
I mean, what was it? We were doing those. We were live doing the some show 2 years ago or 3 years ago when it was like Hopkins and Gurley, or Hopkins and what was the trade?
David Johnson
and Hopkins, and that felt like Jimmy Graham and. Yeah, I mean, it's Russell.
But it's a quarterback. It's one of the 5 faces of the league.
Did you just say Jimmy Graham?
The Jimmy Graham Max Unger trade was a massive trade.
Shut up.
But I mean, but that's the point. My point is, like, if you start listing out like the biggest trades of the last 10 years,
I mean, Khalil Mack, that's a big one of the past.
That's a big trade. Not quite as big as the Max Unger one, but it's
Jimmy Graham was in his prime. What are you talking about?
You're talking about offensive lineman and tight end. Get out of here. He's talking about Russ Wilson.
I mean, it probably is. I don't think it's crazy.
Listing notable trades in the past 10 years.
Oh, I thought you meant that was
Graham Max Unger.
I thought you meant that was in competition with the Russ Wilson.
No, I'm just trying to think of like big. I'm trying to think of trades where I was like, "Holy bleep!"
Okay,
I cannot believe that just went down.
I thought you were being hyperbolic, but yeah, you're right.
No, we saw Nick Foles. No, I was kidding. Nick Foles get traded. The Sam Bradford trade, the preseason trade after Bridgewater got hurt, that was a big deal. I mean,
what about Antonio Brown to the Raiders for a 3rd-round pick? Does that squeeze in there? Is that like a top 10? I don't even know if that's top 10.
Antonio Brown qualifies only because he was traded to the Bills for like 5 minutes too.
Oh, right. And he made the Steelers trade him for
forced
reasons.
His way out of Pittsburgh. That's up there. But
I would throw like Terrell Owens for me, if I'm making my personal list, but that was massive in 2004.
Yeah. This is different because it is a quarterback, a future Hall of Fame quarterback who won a Super Bowl with the team that he was on, asked for a trade last offseason, did not get traded, played the whole year, appeared to be happy. A week ago, actually less than a week ago, his coach came out and said, no, there is no way in hell we are trading Russell Wilson. And then he's dealt out of nowhere, and it comes on top of the fact that it happened like 3 hours after Aaron Rodgers re-ups with Green Bay.
Now, I know that someone said Favre, he was on the tail end of his career, but he was also the Packers were coming off an NFC title game appearance when they traded him. So, I mean, that's pretty huge.
But the Packers had Aaron Rodgers. They had a 1st-round pick in the wings.
Right, but you're dumping your Super Bowl winning quarterback who has who was coming off an NFC
title game.
Well,
he wouldn't quit unretiring. So
he kept waffling, and basically what Aaron Rodgers is doing now is what Brett Favre did then.
No, that should absolutely be put up there. But I think quarterback trades, you're talking Montana, Favre, and Russ is in some order, those 3.
Debo, what about that Joe Flacco trade?
I mean, you could throw out like you throw in, if you're doing top 10, like the Stafford Goff trade enters that list.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't believe old Brinson didn't bring that. He's already off the Stafford bandwagon, like I said.
Stafford Goff's up there, but it was like also, I think to me, when we talk about the impact too, is like, we're also in the moment of it where it's like the events leading up to it. Like I was pretty confident Russell Wilson was not getting traded. And with Stafford, we knew that Stafford it had been reported and been leaked out that Stafford had gone to the Lions and said, "Hey, I'd like to get out." And it was just a matter of where was he going. With Russ, it was like there's no way they're trading him. Like they can't trade him. And who would they trade him to? And then when Rodgers stayed put, it's like, all right, Russ, it's going to be a boring offseason. Russ is going to stay put, and then wham, I'll buy him. I'll thank you, ma'am.
By the way, I just looked quickly at some of the worst trades ever, QB involving quarterbacks. In 1998, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave up the second overall pick for Chris Chandler, who was sort of a middle-of-the-road quarterback. That one's not great.
That's not ideal.
Jeff George.
The Buccaneers trade away Steve Young for peanuts.
Yep, I just saw that one. And, of course, the Chargers traded up for Ryan Leaf and didn't take Peyton Manning as part of the draft day trade, that asterisk that Debo was talking about there. And Brett Favre.
I know our pal C-Rad in the chat pointed out Eric Dickerson, the Colts is big at the time. Also, Marshall Faulk and Edge James. Did you say that one already?
No.
Marshall Faulk, Edge James is a big trade, but like NFL. Here's the other thing: is that NFL trades for veteran players have not been a thing forever.
Right, it had to be baseball or basketball, and then sort of NFL got back in on it and made it a lot more fun to.
But so because there were no trades, like only now is it possible to make these big trades and like to actually send up, like Carson Wentz is traded to the Colts, Matthew Stafford's traded, Tom Brady wasn't traded, but departs. Like this quarterback movement that we're seeing has and just the ability to make these trades. It's just a different NFL landscape than it was over the past 30 years. So yeah, I do think this is the biggest NFL trade in the history of
the world
today.
What about Boomer Esiason?
Yeah, that's number 2.
Okay.
He got traded to the Jets. That's coming 4 years off the Super Bowl. That's the biggest trade in NFL history.
Good point.